A listener warning. Please be advised that this episode contains content that may be disturbing to some listeners, including descriptions of violence. Listener discretion is advised.
Life upon the wicked stage ain't ever what a girl supposes.
I'm Jen.
I'm Ashley.
And I'm Olivia.
And we are, in fact, three different people.
This podcast focuses on true crime under the spotlight of arts and entertainment. So grab your beverage of choice and settle in.
Places, ladies.
Here's our episode.
Take
gonna be great.
2. Listeners, I read a thing and it said, if you're feeling like the vibes are off this week, it's not just you, because there are 4 planets in retrograde right now.
Oh, that's right. It is retrograde. That's what's going on. There you go. That's why it's not working, Olivia.
Okay, I'm going to try talking. Does anyone hear anything I'm saying?
We can hear you.
Great. We hear you now.
Okay.
We're manifesting.
Because we manifested it.
We were talking about the Annabelle doll, and we were talking about...
Yeah.
That's what did
I
it.
ruined it. That's what I summoned the bad. I'm sorry.
Okay,
We're
need to...
getting away.
I have some stage. I can stage my space. Yeah. Okay.
All right. We all did a little dance. You better
Ashley.
subscribe to
Little,
YouTube. so you
stones
can
of
see it.
positivity over here.
Yeah, me too. Right here.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Jen, what
Hi.
are we talking about this week? What is this case?
Okay, let's jump right in.
Yeah.
So today we are bringing it to very present day, and we are going to talk about the very unfortunate incident that happened on the set of the movie Rust.
Ugh. This is
And
a tough one.
This is a very tough one. I find it very interesting, and I think it's important for everybody to kind of hear all of the little ins and outs, because it's a film set, there are a lot of things that go on that make it not black and white. All right, are you ready, floozies?
With that, let's do it.
With that, what a bummer. Can't wait.
Yeah. Can't wait.
I'm excited. I don't know.
So, on October 21st, 2021, at the Bonanza Creek Ranch in Bonanza City, New Mexico, which was a ghost town about 13 miles south of Santa Fe, cinematographer Helena Hutchins was fatally shot, and director Joel Souza was injured on the set of the film Rust when a live round was discharged from a revolver that actor Alec Baldwin was using as a prop. So, that's it in a nutshell.
Yes.
We're going to go into everything.
The video that we've all seen, it was like seconds before, right?
Yes, because it was a rehearsal, so it was not recorded. And there are a lot of reasons. It is a series of events that happened that led to the worst possible outcome. And we're going to go into all of it. There's going to be a lot of terminology. We're going to learn a lot today.
I feel like, Jen, though, to your point, that's almost the only way something like this could even happen.
Right.
Because of the little we've already discussed.
Right.
About, like, this is so unusual because there are so many mechanisms for safety in place.
Yes.
Right.
So many things had to go wrong.
Had to go wrong.
I don't even know what they are at this point, but just to even create the conditions for this to happen at all.
So this movie was the brainchild of writer-director Joel Souza. He met Alec Baldwin when he wrote a movie called Crown Vic that Alec was supposed to be in. Alec did produce it, but because of a bunch of schedule changes and production dates got pushed and that sort of thing, it never happened. Alec wasn't in it.
Is there a movie called Crown Vic?
Yes, there is.
Is it about a Crown Vic?
It's a cop movie. It's a cop
I'm
movie.
asking.
Joel said, for some reason, Alec liked my writing and asked if I had anything. And he said, I have a Western. And Alec said, I've never done a Western. Let's do a Western. He said it was just like that. I did a little digging and I found that Joel had done a movie with William Baldwin, a Christmas movie.
Billy Baldwin.
Before,
Billy Baldwin.
So I think that maybe that's where they kind of made a connection. But he said, he goes, Alex just liked my writing. And that's kind of how it happened, which is how it happens. It's how it happens,
get
you know?
made. I would say too, Westerns had a moment. I'll say, like in the
They did.
like the 40s and 50s, and like maybe up through like the 60s and 70s.
Yep.
But that genre of film is something that I'm sure for many reasons that don't matter for our purposes. But like the Western has really like fallen out of like style or out of favor, like as a genre. So to see like a Western getting made now is also like, oh, really, a Western?
I know.
Like,
I've always wanted to make a Western. In fact, I got a headshot specifically so I could be like a madam in a brothel.
That's the thing. You don't want to just make a Western. You want to be in a brothel in a Western.
And
Very
have a gun.
specific.
Like
And have a gun.
Jen, I feel
very
like you
important
just need to write this screenplay.
I'm gonna. You're right.
Let's just
I'll
cut
write
to
it for
the chase.
myself.
Let's get it done.
Yes. This project was Alec Baldwin's kind of passion project because it was an indie film. So it was produced on a small budget. Small. I've been on much smaller budgets.
Just a few million.
But of $6 to $7 million. And its
Adorable.
distribution rights were sold for $2 million during the pre-production phase, so it had already been sold before it even started, which is also a pretty big deal. The production had a filming schedule of 21 days, which is short, especially for a Western. When I did the rom-coms, it's 14 days, and that's a rush. You're doing like 9 pages a day, which is ridiculous. You should be doing 5 at the most pages a day. On a SAG set. So
Is that for like budget reasons and breaks and things like that, where they're like, in today's day and age, there must be some sort of threshold where it's like, this is the most you can even do as far as like how much can you work your union actors, but also like what is reasonable in terms of like number of takes or safety.
Correct. And like, safety and moving the cameras and all of that. Yeah.
So this is going to play into it, I'm guessing, because it seems like a really unreasonable timeline.
It's a lot.
And so it feels like, does that mean that everything was rushed through?
Everything was moving fast, So filming began on October 6th, 2021. So Joel hired Helena Hutchins as his cinematographer. He had a list. He just like watched movies and kept a list of cinematographers that he liked their work. And she was a rising cinematographer. So what is a cinematographer? I said we're going to learn a lot today. Cinematographer, a director of photography, or for short, a DP.
Okay.
They are responsible for the photographic heart of a production. They read the screenplay and work closely with the director to discuss the look and feel of the film. Basically, the DP takes the script and makes the words into a visual language. The DP is the second most important person on a film other than the director.
I was today years old when I found out those were all meaning the same thing.
Yes, they all mean the same thing. Yes.
I didn't know that.
I feel so cool when it's like when you learn something and you start using the acronym, you're like, now I'm in the know.
DP. Yeah.
The DP.
So,
DP.
And this was Helena's first big film. She was doing a lot of small films. So this was a very big deal for her.
But obviously super talented to attract.
Very.
And wasn't it kind of, I remember there being something about the fact that she was a female. Isn't it a very male dominated profession?
Male dominated field. Yes. Because you're hauling around cameras. I mean, cinematography is very male dominated, but she was very good. She had a very distinctive style, very like bright lights and darks. Like she had a very distinctive style, which is you have to, right, to set yourself apart.
Yeah.
So so making a movie, much like making theater, and that we all know, it's a collaborative process, right? So they spent all day, every day scouting. They're looking out. They're out in the location, like, okay, we're going to shoot here. We're over here. They had many, many, many Zoom meetings together, but they didn't actually meet until like that first
Her and
day
Alec, you
on
mean
set.
specifically?
Her and Joel, the
Her
director.
and Joel. Oh, okay.
Alec's not there yet. The actors don't come until the first day of filming.
He was an executive producer, though, right?
He was, but
okay.
Producers are also a whole different thing.
Yeah,
Producers
I don't really
are the
know.
money.
I'm just like, I feel like what the movies I've seen, executive producers are always fluttering around, but that's probably not realistic.
Producers are money. Executive producers often are actors who have put some of their own money into the movie.
Or Jen is correct too, that maybe they are foregoing part of their salary for a producer credit because to get a larger payout later if it does well.
If it does well, yes. So being a producer doesn't necessarily mean you're the boss and saying you can have money, you can have money, you can have money. It could just mean my name's up there, I'm getting money later, or I gave some money at the beginning.
I'll say
there are a lot of different levels of
in
producing.
Theater too. This is equally confusing, listeners. Whether it's film or theater, people are perpetual. As someone who has been a producer more than once,
me too.
People are like, "What did you do as the producer?" And I'm like,
well, I romanced old ladies on walkers. That's what I did.
It depends on the project too.
Yeah, absolutely. It depends on the project. It depends on like what are the resources and like how much support do you have. I think how much support I have at any given time or how much budget there is determines how many jobs I'm doing. And the lower the budget, the more I personally end up doing. But I always love that. It's that movie. It's that Christopher Guest film, For Your Consideration.
Yes,
and Jennifer Coolidge
so
is the producer, and she sits down for the interview, and she says, a lot of people are like, what does the producer do? And she says, well, there's a lot of, I can't do Jennifer Coolidge. She says, there's a lot of getting out of the wallet and paying for ridiculous things, like snacks. Like
craft services. Yeah, it's true. It's so true.
Not that. Yeah.
And at this point too, Olivia, because it's coming up to production, Alec, I'm sure, as someone who has served as a producer and an actor, at this point he's in actor mode.
Okay, got it.
Because I think that's kind of the type of producer he probably was on the film. He wasn't like there's somebody you can go to for a problem producer, and then there are money producers also. So yeah.
And it's not like from the title standpoint, you really can't tell. Like you would just sort of have to know the project. Like I think like Nicole Kidman in recent years is someone who I think has gotten very logistically involved with a lot of her projects as a producer. And at the same time, like we just said, there's also people who are like, I just did it. This is part of like my pay structure, and I'm still very much like I'm just here to be the actor on like the set. Like they're not weighing in creatively to anything.
Yes,
but yeah, it's impossible to know just from credits who's who at any given time.
So I thought this was a really lovely thing that Joel said, that like the first day you're on set, you have this movie, because he was the writer. So you have this movie that you wrote and you're the only one who cared about it. And then you start handing it off to people, and then it becomes their movie. And I was like, that's really beautiful.
That's lovely.
Really,
some
really
people
true.
Some people really have trouble letting go though of things.
They do. But you have to.
Just saying. And some people like to direct and write and produce their own works.
Yes.
And sometimes it doesn't go so well.
No.
Because they're too close to it. Anyway.
Yeah.
Corky St. Clair.
Yes. But when you have the right people doing it, and on film especially, everybody has their job, and everyone does their job, and you do not do anyone else's job. And I had a really hard time with this when I started film, because I did theater, and you just help. You wear a lot of hats.
Theater's scrappy like that.
We're scrappy. We do whatever you need.
I would say asterisk, professional, like union theater.
Yes.
Different. Like you don't touch the props. You don't touch that. Like it's all IATSE. You know what I mean? Like they have to do that stuff.
Yes, and it's still different, because I've done that too.
Yeah.
And they're not as strict as they are on a film set.
Got it. Got it.
If you grab your costume on a film set, like, hey, I'm going to grab my blazer. No.
Don't touch that blazer.
Don't touch it.
Put that blazer down.
You put it down. And I was like, okay, I'm so sorry.
Bad actor. Bad actor. You step away.
Whereas in theater, they put all your costumes in the dressing room and you're in charge of them.
Right, right.
And they put all your props on the table, you're in charge of them. That's not how it works. They hand them to you.
You're so catered to.
Yes, it is very funny, in fact. So let's go through some more people. So we have Joel Souza, who is the director and the writer. We have Helena Hutchins, who is the DP. Now we have the first AD, or the first assistant director, and this is David Hall. So the first assistant director on a movie, or the first AD, is kind of like the foreman of a set. They are telling everybody what to do. You go here, you go there. They have a walkie. They're listening to what the director wants. They're listening to what the DP wants. They're calling for the actors. They're calling for wardrobe. They're calling for the guns.
Is that kind of like stage manager in the theater world?
That's the closest thing that you could have.
Oh,
so,
I did not know that.
And we'll get into kind of where everybody would normally be placed in a film set, but the AD is the one that's like out with everybody. The director and the DP are further away. They're a little more detached. Okay. And one of the jobs of the first AD is also safety coordinator on set. Specifically here.
Yeah.
So some interesting things about David Hall. In the aftermath of this incident, former colleagues reported that Halls faced complaints in 2019 about his behavior during the filming of 2 episodes of Into the Dark. The complaints indicated that he allegedly disregarded safety protocols by ignoring blocked exits in a fire lane. In the same year, in the same year, Halls had been fired from working on the film Freedom's Path after a firearm discharged unexpectedly on set, wounding a crew member.
Absolutely not.
Wait.
Yes.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
On the set of the independent film One Way, a crew member warned producers about Hall's disregard for safety measures and said, "That man is a liability. He's going to fucking kill someone someday. And you're going to be responsible."
What?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my
However,
goodness.
the film's digital imaging technician disputes the claim, saying he knew Halls to be conscientious about safety. Now, there is a beautiful, beautiful documentary on Hulu that Helena's like best friend and made. And David Halls is in it, and he seems pretty okay. Like, I'm like, you seem pretty competent. Yes. But you've been in the business a long time.
Yeah.
Sometimes you are like, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
But
you
here's the thing. If you have been on 3 different projects in as many years and 3 different groups of people have flagged you for the same problematic tendency, that feels a little bit, that feels a little bit like alarm bells. Just
it sure does.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Or been told, well, and if he's different in the documentary, I would imagine it's a
documentary.
And what amount of clarity a manslaughter charge will bring, I would say.
Correct. No, that's so true. I also believe you're in the business for a long time, and I think that, and he is. I mean, he's basically retired now, and we'll get to that. But I think there comes a point where you just get. It's like having tenure. You get lax about things. I'm not saying that's right. I just think it happens.
No, but I think you're right too, Jen. And especially when you are even working with, I don't know, risky stuff. I think it is easy to maybe get cavalier. And stop appreciating the danger of the situation.
Yes.
It's like, say, Creed and Roy. They're like, we know the tigers, and it was like,
fine.
oh no, like,
and you're working on a film set, which is make believe.
Yeah.
And you kind of forget about the fact that these are real weapons. In a way, right?
I feel like the people that are charged with the safety should never forget that. But
I agree. Yeah. Well, let's get into that. Are you ready? Now we're going to talk about the armorer, Hannah Gutierrez Reed. So the armorer on a film set is responsible for the safe use of all firearms, weapons, and ammunition. That's it.
Straightforward.
Very straightforward. She is to check and maintain weapons, train the actors how to use those weapons. That's her job.
We like to say you had one job. She literally had one job.
Has one job. On this particular film, she had 2 jobs because she was also hired as a assistant prop person. Okay. She was supposed to split her time.
Is that a good idea?
No,
like the person in charge of the most dangerous life safety things.
Let's absolutely
give them
not.
A second focus. Okay.
It was the producers trying to save some money, and we'll get into that a little bit too.
Save money on someone whose role cannot end the lives of others. I'm just saying, save money on craft surfaces and also wigs.
Yes,
nice.
Wigs. Yeah,
it's
we
nice
don't need
to split.
A wig has never killed anyone, to the best of our knowledge. So,
I mean, there have been unforgivable wig crimes, and at the same time, no one died.
That should be our finale: unforgivable wig crimes. I've got a couple. Anyway,
listen.
So Hannah is the daughter of Thel Reed. So Dave, who hired her, knew she had very little experience, but Thel Reed is an armorer who's literally worked with every actor in Hollywood. So any actor, nepotism.
No, I was going to say that, like a second generation person in this
but
role.
right.
Any actor that she would know what she's doing.
She was
very
doing,
young.
Yeah.
Any actor that like spins a gun and spins a gun well, Thel taught them how to do that. Like he's like the fastest draw in the West, kind of like he taught him how to do that.
Clint Eastwood's got him on speed dial.
Yes, exactly. So she learned from him. So you assume she's going to be great. Why wouldn't she be? There was a previous armorer hired, and they left because.
Do we know why?
Yeah, they couldn't afford him.
Oh,
Money is.
So she was cheaper. And the reason they were able to hire her, because she was non-union on a union set, was because she also worked as a prop person. That's why she did both. There's an email saying it.
Interesting.
Yes. So here are some interesting things about Hannah. On her first film, The Old Way, starring Nicolas Cage, several crew members complained about her handling of firearms, including an incident in which she discharged a weapon without warning and caused lead actor Nicolas Cage to walk off set.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Wait, so was the weapon loaded or was it discharged with the flash thing?
Well, with a blank, but it was loud.
It was a blank.
It was
doesn't
very
matter.
near.
You're
Okay.
firing
You have
guns
to
without
say,
telling anyone.
Fire! You tell
Right.
people when it's going to fire.
Right.
We're doing it now. Yeah.
It's not like surprise.
No.
Pow.
You never want gunshots to be a surprise.
Yes.
Never. It's just like a rule of life.
Yes. And apparently that was, and she did it near the cast and crew, and it was the second time in 3 days that she did it without warning.
What was she doing? Why was she doing that?
She did because she didn't know what she was doing.
How
She
old
was
is this
inexperienced.
person?
She's very young. She's like 25, maybe younger. She's very young.
I
To me, I don't know. To me, very young is like 19.
Well, why don't we see how old she is? She is 28 now.
Oh. And this was
So
29. No, when was 2021?
21.
Oh, no, not math. No.
that's
That was 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
So she's
she would have been
24.
24. So,
Right.
yeah.
Your brain is not
I'm as
technically
close.
fully formed till you're
frontal lobe.
25,
Right.
right?
Yep.
So
frontal
she
lobe, like we
didn't
like to
have.
say.
So maybe don't put the slightly brain malformed person in charge of the life-saving props.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
So I will say this because I want to say it. Apparently, Nicolas Cage yelled at her. Make an announcement. You just blew my fucking eardrums out. And I was like, good for you, Nicolas Cage. So on that same set, Gutierrez Reed walked onto the set with live rounds of blanks and no public announcement to the cast and crew, breaking established safety protocols. You're never supposed to bring live rounds onto a set. No. She would tuck pistols under her armpits and carry rifles in each hand that were ready to be used in the scene. Firearms were aimed at people.
Oh my God. I just have to ask Jen, we said initially, this is like a second generation person in this line of work.
Yes.
Like, is this just a failure of training, or is this also one of those, my dad, whatever, blah, 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 so like are just being very cavalier about it?
I'm feeling like
inexperience?
Yeah, I'm feeling like cockiness is what I'm thinking.
Yes.
She's like, I know what I'm doing. Oh, you didn't like that? Bang.
If you
I don't
would like
know.
to, I have pictures in the drive. From what I've seen of Hannah, this is my opinion. Allegedly. I feel the second. She feels very cavalier to me and very entitled.
Yeah.
So also on the set of Rust, she was walking around, pistols tucked under her arms. They're just like flailing about.
Get a holster.
Yes. She twice fired guns on the set without giving any warning to the cast and crew as required.
So that's her MO, because this is she's done this before on other sets.
This has happened before, yes. The first time she was demonstrating the gun volume to see if the loud sound would startle the horses, when without warning the gun went off. So there were a couple instances on the set of Rust where the guns misfired. 2 to be exact.
That's also not great. That's also
it's
not
not
something
good.
you want, because in theory, my understanding is limited, but at the same time, it's like the gun shouldn't be going off unless you are pulling the trigger.
Correct.
Yeah, the whole accidental firing
shouldn't be happening.
Something's very wrong.
From the armorer who is supposed to be trained in how to handle this.
Correct.
It's either that she's badly trained or doesn't give a shit, and it's concerning
and
that
both
it's
are
actually
terrible.
maybe
both are concerning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Frances Fisher, you might also know her as Ruth DeWitt Bukater. There's a lot of Titanic in these past few episodes.
Yes.
Who is also in the movie Rust, was having a conversation with Alec Baldwin one of the first days on set. They're at base camp. Base camp is where you're just hanging out, like sitting, waiting to go on. Another little bit of trivia for you. And she explained that she said Hannah came barreling in, interrupting them. They're having a conversation with an arm full of guns. And Frances Fisher was like, this is very unsafe. So, speaking of actors, actor Alec Baldwin, Frances Fisher, Josh Hopkins, and Olivia, you ready? Jensen Ackles.
What? Wait, he's in Rust?
He's not. He was supposed to play the sheriff, but then his schedule got screwed up. He could have been on this set.
Oh my God. No, don't you shut your mouth right now. How you take that?
I take it back. I take it back.
Listeners, if you don't remember from the John Wilkes Booth episode, this is Olivia's
there
boyfriend.
It is. There's her
and
candle.
the candle of Jensen Ackles.
When I found that out,
It
I was like, well, I
smells
have
like
to
him.
tell her. So he was supposed to play the sheriff, and then Josh Hopkins. There he is.
I'm
Smells
sniffing
like the back of an Impala.
Sniffing my Jensen Ackles candle. It smells like the back seat of an Impala and a nice leather jacket.
Well, there
That's all
you go.
we're gonna.
But yeah, he was supposed to play the sheriff, but because of scheduling, he was replaced by Josh Hopkins, who was already in the movie playing a different character, and then he kind of got bumped up. So that was good for him. It was a good role for him. But
there's
here
a
we
new
go.
sheriff in town.
New sheriff in town. Very well done. Very well done.
Nice.
Yes. So, for those of you out there that may not know, actors use speech, movement, and expression to bring characters to life in theater, film, television, and radio.
They're
That's
supposed
what we
to.
do. They're supposed to.
In some productions, they're just loud and they can kind of hit the note.
He was
community
jovial.
theater.
He didn't have great pitch, but he was loud, and that's enough to get you cast as a guy in community theater.
I don't know how that quote has not made it all over the internet at
It
this
lives
point.
rent free in my brain, and I've told so many people. Listeners, that was from season 1. Dan Wozniak, Rachel Buffet, as what was he saying on Dateline? Rachel Buffet.
It was the Dateline interview.
Roasting her soon-to-be
Her
ex-boyfriend.
fiance. My God, what a thumb.
What a thumb.
So apparently Alec Baldwin was just as excited as everybody else to be working on this movie because he'd never made a Western before.
A cool genre.
It was a cool genre. He wanted to do it, but the crew kind of got intimidated when Alec showed up because he's a big deal.
I can see
And
that.
he
This
was-
is a budget film. It's
Yes.
indie. And
he
the
was
Alec Baldwin. I mean, he's
huge at this time. This was after his renaissance, right? 30 Rock's done. He's back, baby.
right.
He's huge, and they got intimidated, and things started to move a little faster. So, on every independent film set, there is never enough time. There is never enough money. If you would like to know what an independent film is, for those of you that don't know, simply a feature film or short film that is produced outside of a major film studio system. So it's somebody that isn't Sony or 20th Century or one of those big
MGM
films,
or
MGM.
any of those. Okay.
But you're working 10-hour days at the least. You're really working 12-hour days. 12-hour days were turning into 13-hour days. This was one of the major things that the strike was about. Was that
When you say the strike, because I know people walked off set for this, thus big strike in Hollywood or the strike
there
on
were a
this
couple
set?
strikes. So there was a strike for IATSE. IATSE is the Teamsters, the crew.
Yes.
Okay, they did not strike because they reached a deal, and the deal was part of it was that they have to have 10 hours between leaving set and coming back on set.
Yep.
because they were like not even having 6 hours between leaving and coming back. So they weren't having enough time to eat, sleep, like have a life. Be a person. So that was one of the big things.
And they have to travel to set. I remember that. Correct. Like some of them are renting hotel rooms in the cities that they're working in, and they're not near the set. Right. And so, yeah. Mm-hmm.
They were having an hour drive to get to their hotel from this place. So they were working 13-hour days and then an hour to drive to their hotel, and then so they were tired, like they're exhausted,
and also not safe.
And it's not safe. And this was before the strike, so they reached a compromise, like kind of during this film, but then it didn't go into play until after.
Got it.
So now we're going to get into the incident. On October 12th, 2021, Hannah, the armorer, and Alec Baldwin practiced with blanks in the revolver. It was a replica revolver that did shoot. What is a blank? A blank is a fake round that makes a loud bang when fired.
Mm-hmm. But there's no projectile in it.
There's no projectile. It just makes a loud sound. So they had practice on October 12th, firing the gun, learning how to use the gun, because it is a replica of a gun from the 1800s, because it's an old Western.
Sure.
So we have come now to October 21st, 2021. This is now the 12th day of shooting. We're on day 12 of 21.
Okay.
This is the day that the camera crew walked. Lane Looper, who was the first AC, this is the...
What's an AC?
I'm coming for you. This is the A camera first assistant. So there are different cameras on set, more than one. There's an A camera, there's a B cam, there's a C cam, right?
Because angles.
Angles, exactly. And there are assistants to these cameras. Somebody's holding it, and then somebody else is using focus, and somebody else. So he was the first AC. Okay.
Okay.
He talks a lot. He said that kind of every problem would be on his shoulders. He was seeing what was going on, and he was kind of reporting it to producers, and they didn't care, is what he said.
What kind of problems was he seeing?
Well, he was seeing lax COVID policies, but specifically gun safety. Lack of rehearsals. That's a big one, right? Lack of rehearsals. And the fact that the first assistant AC is seeing this.
Yeah. Like
the A camera assistant. Yeah. But he's a camera guy. He's not necessarily like, that's not his job, but he sees it. So he's this is a problem.
Yeah, that even he is like, something's very wrong here. Like, this is bad.
So, yes. So he's saying there was a lack of rehearsals, a lack of preparing the crew for what they were doing that day. And they were kind of like playing fast and loose with the weapons, is what he said. And he put it in writing. There are emails to the producers that he put on.
So he documented this in writing, and nothing was ever done about it? Nothing was addressed?
Yeah, correct. Which is why they walked. They were like, we don't feel safe, so we're leaving.
Good.
The camera crew walked off, so they went from like a 9 to 11 like person camera crew to like 2. One of those 2.
2?
2. Yes. So one of those 2 is Helena. She was very hurt by the fact that the camera crew left because, I mean, they're a family. I mean, they were all working together. She probably understood, but she is a female in a very male-dominated field, and this is a huge opportunity for her.
Yeah.
I understand why she didn't walk.
Yeah.
If it hadn't been that, she probably would have.
Probably.
But she was a little hurt, but she was like, you know what? It's okay. She pivoted. She kept going.
You know what? There are so many, it's a hindsight thing, but there are so many moments when this could have turned out differently.
100%.
There was people aware that the safety wasn't being followed. The crew walked off. The AC guy was making complaints.
Yes.
And now this point where she decided to not walk. There's so many moments where it could have been stopped before it happened.
Yes. So now we're down to 1 camera. I think they probably had 3, maybe 4, probably 3. So they have 1 camera this day. So Joel, the director, pulls Helena aside and David Halls and says, okay, we cannot finish the day. This was supposed to be a huge day. This was like the biggest day they were going to have. And he's like, look, we can't finish it. We don't have the crew to do it. We're going to do this one scene and then we're going to worry about tomorrow. And they were like, okay.
So this was just the one scene they were going to do.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So after lunch, they're setting up for the shot. Alec is sitting in a church pew. I have pictures on the drive. You guys are welcome to go look at them. It's a small church, but they don't have a lot of crew right now. So they're in the church. They're setting up. Helena told Dave that she was ready. So Dave on the walkie says, camera ready, and it sets in motion everything. So you
so that call
camera
okay.
Yeah, camera ready. Okay, camera ready. And you go around and it's like, and then it's camera speed, sound speed, action.
Okay.
That's how it works, right?
Okay.
But before, so camera's ready. So he says camera's ready. Okay, gun to set. They get everything set up. Camera is ready to shoot. We need everything here now. Get the actors in. Last looks on hair and makeup. Last looks on wardrobe. Bring the gun in. We're ready to shoot.
Okay.
Gun to set. So technically what would happen is as soon as he got that gun into set, if they wanted to do a rehearsal, they did a rehearsal. And then it would be, okay, camera speed, sound speed, action. And they would have filmed it.
Okay.
That's how it would have worked. So they were ready. Okay.
Okay.
So the gun comes to set. So important. Only the armorer can touch the gun.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
So Hannah said she got the gun, she cleaned it out with a brush, and loaded the last dummy round in it. Hey, what's a dummy round, you ask?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm glad. A dummy looks like a real bullet, but it cannot fire. It's just a lookalike.
Why have this? Was it important to the plot? Like we have to see it be loaded?
Don't know why it was there, but yes, that's why it would be, is if you have to load something.
Like we need to see him taking the bullet out of his pocket
and putting it in, or you need to see him like spin the barrel or something. So I'm assuming there was something like that in the shot, and that's why there had to be a dummy in it. They didn't specify. It might be kind of pre-prepped but she would have added like the last bullet, like at the very end.
At the very end, okay.
She's good to go. So Alec Baldwin arrived on set. He sat in the pew. Hannah went to the first AD, David Halls, and said, hey, let's do the gun check. Hannah said, I put dummy rounds in the gun. Okay. And she spun the cylinder for David Halls. She said, see, here they are. Here are the dummy rounds.
Yep.
He saw what appeared to be dummy rounds.
How many dummy rounds? Was the whole thing full?
Yeah.
And you can see in that old style of like whatever you say, like 1800s revolver, like you can see if you look at the back of it visually because it's open that there are like you can see how many bullets are left in the chamber. Like if you were.
Is there any way, Jen, just on glancing in that, to tell if it's dummy or not?
I'm assuming not.
Okay.
But let's go back to the fact that there should not be live rounds on set anyway.
On set, period. That's my whole question about this whole thing, which I'm sure you're going to get into. But yes.
So if there are dummy rounds in the gun, great. Looks good. We need it. What? Because in your brain, why would that even come into play? Why would you even think there would be a live round on set? Because they're not supposed to be there.
Right. When you see a round in a gun on set, you would properly assume that is a dummy round. There's no reason that seeing a round in a gun on set would make you say, well, let me check each one of those to make sure it's not a real bullet.
Right,
because a real bullet shouldn't be there in the first place.
Correct.
If anything's there, it should be a dummy, period.
Yes.
Right.
So I will also say that there was a false story going around that the camera crew, because they were like pissed off because the safety measures, were firing live rounds at like cans and stuff at lunchtime. This is false. It didn't happen.
Oh, thank God.
It was something,
Good Lord.
And that's how the live rounds got on set.
What a horrible
That didn't happen.
No.
Somebody took that and spun it. That didn't happen.
That person is gross.
that is a gross rumor. It didn't happen. So, all right. So she says, I put dummy rounds in the gun. She spins the cylinder for David Halls. He's like, okay, great. Dummy rounds. We're good to go. Helena is standing to the right of the cameraman. That's to Alec's left, and asking, Alec, how does this feel? Okay. So normally the director and the DP are in what's called Video Village, watching the monitors. It's far away from set. There is a tent. There are like 5 monitors, and they're watching what each camera has on the monitor so they can see exactly what's going to be on film. That's where the director and the DP are. They have their headphones on. They're listening. They're watching. That's where they're calling action and cut from. That's why the first AD is out on the set with his walkie.
Because he's their presence in the immediate vicinity, but
so
they're actually
back in Video Village. But because the camera crew walked, they didn't have a Video Village. So she and Joel are in
close proximity.
Close proximity. They're
so
right
she
there.
Shouldn't have actually been there.
Correct.
And this wouldn't have even happened if.
Oh my God, I didn't know that part.
Yes.
Like she was in a place that she normally would not have been in. I didn't even know that part.
Confluence.
Wow.
Yes.
So on a camera, there is a monitor, a small monitor, and you can watch it. So she was watching the small monitor on the camera that the cameraman was holding. So she was real close. She's asking Alec, like, how does it feel? Feels good. Alec said, do you want to see me cock the gun? And she's like, yeah, but I want you to do it down a little so I can see your thumb. So this is her getting her shot. They're lining up the shot. They're rehearsing. Great, she says. I like that. Alec says, do you want to see me pull the hammer back? So he's doing the right thing. He's saying it step by step. Like, do you want me to do this?
Yes.
You know, and she, yes, I want you to do that. So she is there lining up the shot with her hands. So, you know, like that whole thing, like with a photographer's like looking with her hands, like to get the shot. That's what she's doing. She's literally getting the shot with her hands. So the only thing between her and that gun are her hands.
Ugh. How close was she?
Real close. The camera, it was a close-up shot.
Okay. Okay.
So, I mean, a camera, they can zoom in on you, but it all depends.
We're probably talking about less than 20 feet. Jen.
Less than 20 feet. I'm 5 feet.
Oh, wow.
Probably.
Okay.
It was
Very
real close.
close.
It was a small
building.
So you can see it's a small building. Not super claustrophobic, but small. So they were very close. She was right there. Joel came up behind Helena's shoulder to get a look over her shoulder to see what she was seeing and what the monitor was seeing. And then the gun fired.
So he wasn't even pointing it to shoot. Because, see, I thought when this initially happened, this was one of those situations where, again, like you were to hold the gun out like towards the camera and like he was actively like pointing it and like intended to like fire it and there was just something in it. But he wasn't even intending to be like, oh yeah, like this is.
That's what I thought it was too, Ashley. I thought he was aiming it at her.
Towards
I mean, like
the camera,
towards the camera, and I thought he was doing it because he'd been asked to because they were rehearsing. But I thought that was what was happening.
They were. I mean, yes, he was asked to do it, but it was actually down a little bit because she wanted to see him. She wanted to see the gun like pulled back,
the angle,
like the angle, right? So it just, and she just happened to be there, and the thing went off. And so, and they say it sounded like an absolute explosion. There was smoke. It was so loud. One of the crew members who usually does the squib is when someone gets shot, it's the fake blood.
Yes.
And he said he looked over and he saw blood on her and he was like, why did they squib Helena? And he's like, and he looked down and he's like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And he realized kind of what was going on, that he was shot.
Hey friends, Jen here, and we hope you're enjoying this episode of Life Upon the Wicked Stage. Just a few quick reminders. If you're looking for any of the visuals that we've mentioned in this or any episode of the podcast, make sure to follow us on Instagram at Wicked Stage Pod or Facebook at Life Upon the Wicked Stage. If you want more, please join our Patreon by searching the Wicked Stage Podcast. There you'll find ad-free episodes, videos of our recordings, mini-sodes, behind-the-scenes content, giveaways, and so much more. And the most important side note, if you like the show, please give us a nice rating wherever you listen. It sounds silly, but it's still the best way to get the word out and support us in this crazy podcast world. Well, lights are blinking, intermission's over, so grab those snacks and another drink and enjoy the rest of the show.
So there's a medic on set. There's always a medic on set. Over, medic calls a lighting guy. There's a lighting tech there named Matt, who was also a first responder, a police officer, and a soldier. So he goes to Joel.
He should have been the armorer. P.S.
Right. He should have been. Absolutely. So the medic is with Helena, and Matt is with Joel. Joel's shot in the shoulder. So the bullet went through Helena.
Oh my God.
And into Joel's shoulder.
Right. I knew that. Where did it go through her? Where?
Her
in the chest?
Oh,
in the chest.
And he said,
I'll say, Jen, too, I know this is a replica prop, but in building the replica, I know there's a lot of things you can do with firearms, and sometimes like the size of the gun versus the size of the impact. 'Cause I know there are different calibers of weapon, but it sounds like this was, if it was quote unquote real, this caliber of weapon had a lot of power, and I'm assuming a lot of kick.
I think it was a 45.
I
have it.
That's
somewhere.
Pretty,
I think it was a 45.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
So, Joel said it was like getting hit by a bat. That's what it felt like. Like he got hit by a bat, and he was one way, she was the other way. And he said he locked eyes with Helena for a second.
God.
Dave Halls ran over to Helena. She was on the ground. Her back was up against the dolly. So the camera was on a dolly. The dolly it moves, so you can move the camera.
So she didn't hit the ground. She went
up
back against
and hit
the camera.
The dolly. So she's like sitting up.
Oh,
and
God.
He said to her, "Are you okay?" And she looked up and said, "I can't feel my legs."
Oh, God.
Emergency services were there within 3 minutes. They got there.
So she knew what happened. Like she realized
knew she got shot, I guess.
Right.
And I will say at this point, and this is when it like really started to get to me, because I was, of course the whole thing did, but like everybody is just in shock. Everybody's in shock. Dave is talking about it in the documentary and he's crying. And I was like, yeah, of course you are. Because these people, that's your family. You work with them so closely and you have to trust everybody. And
it happened.
String of events happened
in front of their eyes. It's not like you would feel that way if someone, God forbid, gets killed in a car accident on the way to set. But to have it happen on set in front of you and watch it happen, I just can't even imagine.
Right. So the sheriff comes. The sheriff shuts it down. He's like, it's a crime scene.
Yep.
And he secured it the best he could. But how the hell do you secure a movie set? It's not the same thing.
And
the medic was on it. And they brought like a medevac, and they got her and Joel out of there to the hospital ASAP. And the sheriff is like, they have to find where the gun is, because it's not a normal crime scene.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
and at a crime scene, you'd be looking for a weapon. This set is full of weapons.
Yes,
so
everybody has them. They're in their holsters. Like, it's a Western.
Like, what a bizarre situation to walk upon.
Yeah,
there's a lot going on there, and like a crime scene. It's like usually it's like maybe there's a handful of people there, but this is just and to interview all those people and who saw what and when
and can you? I mean, I know we've seen interviews with him. We've seen the photos, but what Alec Baldwin had to have been going through, I can't. It gets me emotional thinking about it. To realize that you just shot someone, which was supposed to be a dummy weapon. I just can't even imagine the fear, the anger, the guilt. I just can't even imagine what everything at once.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit, because I'm going to get on my little soapbox about Alec in a minute. So, they had to find where the gun was. Hannah gives them the gun, the one that Alec had, because she got it back somehow in the chaos.
Yeah, I'm wondering what happened. Did he drop it? Did he?
I have no idea.
We don't know. He may not even remember, to be honest. Probably
shock,
nobody knows
right?
what
You
happened.
black out.
Yeah.
So they ask her, like, where are the rounds? right? Where are these so-called blanks, these dummy rounds, and they're on a cart. She has a cart. She has an armorer cart.
Yeah.
They ask her who took them, or she said who took them, and Dave looks at her, Dave Halls, and he goes, I gave them back to you.
Wait a second.
She doesn't know what the hell's going on.
Were they
Hannah
not
doesn't
there?
know yes, she's very confused at this point. She's panicking.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Good.
But
yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Finally concerned.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So she's finally got her cart. So she's basically asking Dave, like, where is everything? And he's like, you're the armorer. Like,
Oh God.
I gave them to you. I don't
And
have
Dave
them.
is first AD,
First
right?
AD. Yeah.
Right, just making
I
sure.
gave them back to you because it's your job. I don't have them.
And he's like, I bet you he in his head was like, I fucking knew this was going to happen. I tried. I knew it.
I gave somebody a shot.
And now she has no, it's like unraveling in front of him right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the sheriff comes over and she's at her cart and she's like, this is the one, I'm pretty sure. And she's showing what rounds she put in the gun.
But she's not even
sure what rounds you put in a goddamn gun.
No, I don't understand.
Right?
And
exactly.
There shouldn't be that many choices.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody's going into shock. I understand. People lose their higher functions when they're going into shock.
And at this point, she is young, like not
that young.
I'm not talking
not
that young, but I'm not talking about she's young in that. What I'm saying is, the situation could have fried her brain for a minute to be like,
sure.
I don't know, where is everything? What did
Absolutely.
I could see that happening, but then like at some point you kick into you should then logic should take over or something.
Correct.
Yeah,
correct. There is a point where Hannah, they put her in the back of the squad car because she, Dave, and Alec all have to go down to the station to talk to the police. And she starts hyperventilating in the back of the squad car. And the sheriff says, either she's done something wrong or she let something happen. He's like, that's when that happened.
Because she's panicking not because she just witnessed this thing. She's panicking because she's at fault. She's at fault. Yep.
There is, I mean, and we'll get into this a couple times and I'll probably get emotional. Somebody goes up to Alec and they're like, are you okay? And he goes, no, I'm not. And it's just
that photo of him on the phone, like I was talking about, you can tell he's crying. It's just
horrible. It's horrible.
Like making a movie should never be a life and death situation.
No,
ever.
It shouldn't. It's
and
hard,
it has happened.
Right?
Like we talked about Brendan Lee, and it's happened, but it should not happen. It shouldn't. It only happens when there is incompetence or malice. I think it's one of the two.
One of those two things, right?
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know, in the spirit too of, accidents happen and things go wrong. And at the same time, it sounds like just such a domino of events, but for this one person in particular, because they were so derelict in, I'll say, the very foundation of their job responsibilities. It's like, I don't care who your daddy was. You should have never been hired because the stakes are too high with something like that. It's like there are certain jobs, and there's not a lot of jobs like this in entertainment that are truly, because I mean, we joke about this all the time. It's like, you're doing Music Man. It's not life and death. It's not, but I don't know, firearms and like pyrotechnics maybe. It's like, you want to have someone real seasoned in that role. Like,
so they take everyone to the COVID tent because there's a COVID tent at this point where you have to like go get your nose swabbed every day and all of that. And they wait. And they're asking the cast and crew, please don't talk to the media. We don't know what's going on. Just hang out here. Because the paparazzi like descends on base camp, basically.
Well, and I'm sure that...
And the police station.
Because you know how news reporters listen to... Yeah, they listen to police scanners, right? Like they have... And I'm sure when they heard there's been a shooting on the Rust set, I am sure it was like, wait, what? So, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so unusual.
Yeah, it's so unusual. Absolutely. So the medic on set came down and said, Helena's going to be fine. So everybody thought she was going to be okay.
Oh, God. What? Okay.
Yeah. So Hannah, Alec, and David Halls are all taken to the police station. It's very interesting to watch because we actually have video. And Alec is like drawing a diagram for them. Like, this is where I was.
Yeah.
This is where she was.
He's like,
this
understand
what
happened.
Yeah,
Here's what happened.
Was going on. Yeah. It was
He wasn't like, I need a lawyer or anything.
Yeah.
He was like, this is what happened. Yeah.
No. And they said that, of course, right away. Like, you can have a lawyer. And he was like, no, I'm going to draw it out.
No.
Dave, he was like up walking around, like showing them what was going on. And he told them he heard no one talking about firing a gun. Because there was no need for blanks. It was just a tight shot of him pulling it out and like pulling back the hammer.
Yeah. Why were there blanks? But she had showed Dave that there were dummies in the gun. So they knew there were.
Because dummies look like live rounds. There was a live round in the gun.
So she did put a live round in the gun.
She put a live round in the gun.
Because she's a fucking idiot.
Correct.
So I thought up until this moment, I thought that it was a projectile. It was not an actual live round. It was an actual live round. It was a real fucking bullet.
There were live rounds on the set of Rust, and that is the biggest thing that pisses me off more than anything else.
There's no reason for it.
There's no reason. Because there are a series of events that happened, and a million things could have stopped this from happening. But if there weren't live rounds on the set, it wouldn't have happened.
Oh my
God. Do we know if because like everything else, there is a budget and people know what is being bought or isn't bought. Was this something where it was like, hey, we didn't budget for that. We didn't tell you to buy that. Like, did she bring them?
Or did she bring her own?
Yes.
Yeah.
She brought her own because they came from a different movie she was on.
Ugh.
So my question is, she only put one live round and there's usually 5 cartridges. So that means there were 4 dummies, 1 live, and that's the one that happened to be loaded in the actual trigger.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yes. And we'll get to it when we get to the court case and the evidence and shit. But there were just some live rounds mixed in with the dummies. It's such fucking bullshit.
They were mixed together?
Yes. Negligence.
Like, this should not have ever been a situation.
Yeah, so they're all in their separate, like, police investigation things. Alex drawing a diagram. Dave is up, like, getting around, showing them what's going on. Hannah, however, very nonchalant. Pisses me off. I gotta say, I know, allegedly, whatever. This is my opinion. But she's, like, got her hands behind her head. She's got, like, her leg up on the table. I loaded it with 5 dummy rounds. 1 wouldn't go in, so I cleaned it real quick and then stuck it in. She,
what if the one that wouldn't go in was the live round?
I know. And there's just something about her demeanor that just, it makes it feel like she doesn't give a shit. Now, I know that we shouldn't base it on, because it's trauma and things happen and people all react in a different way.
And people always behave bizarrely in interviews and interrogations. Behave differently,
but there's just something about that just really upsets me.
Well, and to be in that sort of situation where someone has, at the very least at this point, probably based on what they know,
wounded,
has been grievously injured, 2 different people. Yeah. And then it's like, okay, bare minimum, they're horribly injured. And for you to be, I understand, like, no one maybe reacts perfectly during a traumatic situation, but to be so chill to the point that you're putting your foot up and you have your hand behind your head, it's like, what's wrong with you? Like, what are you doing?
Wrong with you?
Like, what the hell? Like, are you not even taking the situation seriously at all?
Right. So Alec tells them, she hands me the gun. I'm assuming she's done this correctly. She has the last 2 weeks. I put it in the holster. You're assuming you have a cold gun. There's no problem. No problems in the last 2 weeks. That's what he says. Now, there have been, but he wasn't on set maybe when those misfires happened, right? He says no one expects that. And he goes, what I'm curious about is what came out of that gun through her body into her shoulder. Is that a live round? It doesn't make sense otherwise. So at this point, nobody knew it was a live round.
Oh.
He's like, what happened?
And he's like, what was it?
What was it? How did that come out of that gun through her into Joel?
Sure. Fair.
Because nobody knows what's going on at this point, right? He just got like swept to that. So Right. So he's there, Hannah's there, and Dave is there. So Joel and Helena are at the hospital. Joel is conscious and is being told that there's a bullet in his shoulder. And he keeps saying, no,
there's not.
That's impossible. That's not how movies work.
Right.
And finally, the doctors are like, you idiot, here's your x-ray. There's a bullet in your shoulder.
And but before that moment, he's like, you idiots, this was a set that must be a piece of a projectile. It's not a real. Just because everybody was in cowboy outfits doesn't mean they were really cowboys.
Yes. He totally didn't believe it. And then the police got the x-ray and showed Alec. They were like, it's a bullet.
He must have just fallen apart.
He said that the police showed him the bullet, and the police said somebody put a live bullet in that gun. And he said, Alex looked at the x-ray and said, that's a bullet. Somebody put a live bullet in that gun. Not only did I rehearse with a cocked gun, but it was loaded.
Yeah.
This is the most horrifying thing I've ever heard in my life. I am speechless.
He's been in the business
forever.
His whole life. And
forever.
This must just be outside of his comprehension and reality. Like, how the fuck could this have happened?
His brain, he literally said, I need to know, how did that happen? And there were no live rounds at camp, I was told, because there shouldn't be any live rounds. It's horrible. I cannot, and I'll get on my soapbox here for a minute. Because soon we're going to talk about how it takes off. And it takes off, and people start blaming Alec Baldwin.
No, get up there,
Unbelievable.
They start blaming Alec Baldwin.
I was so angry.
Because he's Alec Baldwin. And he was the least to blame out of everybody, because he literally was standing there and someone handed him a gun and he did exactly what he was supposed to do.
And it took on a political...
You are not allowed to touch anything else.
Right. And it took on a political angle, which pissed me off, because he had spoken out against Trump. And then this happened. And so...
Are you going to say what I think you're going to say?
Well, there was a couple things. Yes, maybe. So one is that people were looking for a reason to vilify him anyway. Yeah. So I think that was one thing, was like, he's responsible. Mm-hmm. Then there was this conspiracy theory, at least which was like, did someone set him up?
Oh, I didn't hear that, actually.
No, me neither.
Do you want to know the one I thought you were going to say?
Oh, yeah.
Donald Trump Jr. started selling shirts that said, guns don't kill people. Alec Baldwin kills people.
Are you for real?
That is disgusting.
Yep.
That's disgusting.
Odious.
All right. So I'm going to get off my soapbox for a minute, but I'll get back on it in a little bit.
You're welcome to.
So thank you.
Do we need a safety call for the soapbox? I don't want you to fall off. Do we need to rehearse?
I'll be okay.
Standing on the soapbox.
Listen, I'm vertically challenged. I've been on many a soapbox. I'm good.
Jen's getting stunt pay for this.
Stunt pay for my soapbox. David Hall, while in the interview with the cops, he said there is no reason to ever have live ammunition on a film set.
Nope.
It doesn't even. So she came. Yeah. Here's my other question. So she came from another film set. Like this. Why did the other film set have live rounds?
Because she brought them.
Because she's an idiot, Olivia.
Yes.
Critical thinking is not part of the chat. Like,
I mean, that because she's patient zero. I mean, like that's like, that truly is it. Yes. I mean, like that to me, that's it. Wow. Here's the thing that kind of goes, and kind of made everything blow up. It came out online, this whole thing, before anyone got the official word. So the whole cast and crew is still hanging out in that COVID tent.
Oh no.
Wait, what came out online? That this had happened?
She had died. So they start getting like dings.
How did that happen? How did that happen?
Paparazzi were at the hospital. Somebody leaked it.
Disgusting.
Somebody leaked it.
And they start getting in. So like, they're like,
and that means her husband probably found out because from the stupid media.
That's awful.
Yeah. So it is heart-wrenching because you can watch Alec Baldwin get the news.
Oh my God.
And I swear to God, I thought he was going to have a heart attack.
Does he get the news in the interrogation room?
He grabbed his heart. Like I was like,
did the cops tell him?
They
oh
told
my
him.
God.
They said we just got the news, and it was, absolutely heart-wrenching.
I'm just imagining like the shock and trauma that has happened to him.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this is just about him, but I'm saying from an actor's point of view. So you've gone from holding what you think is a prop to somehow it exploding with no explanation and hurting people, to then being in a police interrogation room and being shown an x-ray where it's an actual bullet. Okay. So it's like the bottom's falling out, the bottom's falling out, the bottom's falling out. And then the final word that she's dead. Like, how did he just remain conscious through all this?
It looked like his guts were ripped out. I mean, it truly, and Alec Baldwin's a good actor. He's a great actor. I enjoy him. He's a great actor, but that was not acting.
This isn't acting.
You know what I mean? And I hate it when people bring that bullshit up, and I'm like, stop it. That doesn't mean you're not a real fucking person.
Right, exactly. You still have like human emotions.
You're an actor. You have all of them. It's my favorite line.
There it is.
But I also can't imagine that would be a nightmare scenario for anyone. And the number of people who are involved in some sort of accidental, shooting, whatever.
Okay, so we're in the interrogation room. He gets the news.
He gets the news. Joel, who's in the hospital, obviously, because he had the gunshot to the shoulder, when he finds out, he said he's so devastated, he didn't want to wake up in the morning. He was just like, I don't want to wake up.
I'm sure he felt responsible. Like,
he did.
He
brought her on. It's his movie, right?
Oh.
And then to go back to what I said before, Alec was the one that was all over the news. He's the name, right?
Sure, he's a
People
celebrity.
don't know who anybody else is. He's the celebrity. He was a headline. People wanted entertainment out of this. And
so gross.
Pisses me off. Yeah, it's so gross.
And there, like I said, there was a Republican movement or MAGA or whatever, because he had come out against Trump at some point. They were like, "Ha, that's what you get."
Up for the right things, you know?
Yeah. But they wanted to sacrifice him anyway, so this was like perfect timing.
Yeah. So OSHA in New Mexico opened a case, and they brought in Lane, the first assistant camera, and all his emails to the producers and all of that stuff about how it was unsafe and all of that sort of thing. So the things that OSHA found out were that, first of all, that no one was shooting recreationally. that was a
so
lie.
that was bullshit. Yeah.
But that there were a few misfires. So Lane, the first AC, said that the firearm just went off at one point in a stunt double's hand.
That same firearm or a different firearm?
Yes, the same firearm. Because here's the thing. Alec, and we'll get into it, Alec, to this day, says, I did not pull the trigger.
Right.
So,
and I believe him.
I believe him too.
Because even if he did pull it was a rehearsal. And even if he did pull the trigger, there shouldn't have been anything in it anyway. So
it was a cold gun. It didn't matter.
Wouldn't have any reason to lie about that.
And you know what? They were being so communicative. He would have said, I'm going to pull the hammer back. Do you want me to pull the trigger?
Right.
Yeah. He'd done it every step up until then. Exactly.
That's what he would have said.
And no one's heard him say that.
Nope.
So
it didn't happen. That's what OSHA found out, that on the 16th of October, there were 2 negligent discharges. So a negligent discharge is when a firearm or special effect goes off unexpectedly. One misfire should have stopped. They should have stopped and been like, hey, what happened? Right? But very shortly after that first discharge, the second happened. And that's when Lane texted the producers and was like, look, we have now had 3 discharges. This is unsafe. He was like, this is super unsafe. You have to do something.
fundamentally
my
unsafe.
God.
Fire the armorer.
Fire the armorer.
Yes.
And the producers were like, took his complaint and quote unquote made a note.
No.
Made a note.
No.
That's what they like emailed him. Like,
Who are the
"We made notes."
producers, by the way?
There
Who
were
are
whole-
these people?
There are a whole bunch of them. They're
There
nobody
are.
that you know. I mean, they're just.
But I mean, like, are they just people that wanted to be in the movies, so they put money into this?
Probably.
Yes.
The AC report this to Joel. Did they report it to Joel?
Because the producers are higher than Joel.
I know, but did Joel know this was happening too?
Probably, I would assume, having been on film sets, that the AC thought, okay, he's dealing with this over here. I'm going to take care of it with this people because that's their job.
Sure.
Their job is to take care of problems, not Joel's job is to make art. So I'm not going to bother him with this. I'm going to tell the producers because that's not their job.
I mean, and that's
their
the
job
buck
is
stops.
to stop the production.
Right, the buck stops with the producer, so he did the right thing.
It's a very messy hierarchy
Yeah.
because it's not like the studio system of the past.
Yeah.
Where there was like one studio, one producer, one director. So Lane was saying that the crew walked off because basically nobody was doing anything. They thought if they left, they would shut everything down for
Yeah, and fix the problem.
look at the safety things,
Yep.
and then continue working. They were actually surprised that they continued working the next day. They thought they'd just shut it down.
Wow.
Right? So there were 9 producers on this movie. There was a line producer, Gabrielle Pickle. She got a lot of the information, all the emails and stuff, right? There was a unit production manager named Ro Walker. He also got a lot of information. Then there was the first AD, Dave Halls, as we know. They're the ones who hired Hannah. Okay? She did an interview, as we talked about. Oh, 2 armorers had bailed. I was wrong. 2 of them had bailed,
Oh, wow.
not just one. They couldn't
Because
find
of
anyone.
they couldn't afford them.
They couldn't
That's
afford
why.
them.
You're doing
So-
a western,
You don't want a third string armor on a Western.
right? On a western, it's all about guns.
So here's a little bit of detail into that situation. So she was working as key assistant prop manager, prop assistant. She was supposed to have 8 days as the armorer. 8 days out of 21 as the armorer. Because that's what she was getting paid for because an armorer makes more.
Okay.
Okay?
So for those 8 days, she should have only been the armorer. Is that kind of
Yes.
how that works?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Gabrielle Pickle, who's one of those producers, sent an email saying to her, to Hannah, you're spending too much time on your armorer tasks.
What?
Oh no.
You're spending too much time checking the fire exits and the security systems on that building full of children.
I
What?
In the same email, also, you left a firearm unattended after a scene.
I mean, that's bad.
All weapons need to be in your control at the time that they are used, which is
Pick a
true.
lane.
Pick a lane, Gabrielle.
It's like, do you want her to pay more attention, or is she spending too much time? Which is it?
Which one is it? It's quite a pickle.
So
Sorry.
Hannah kept saying that she needed more time to clean the guns and more training time, particularly with Alec. But I think she's saying that because of what happened.
She said this after the fact.
Yes.
Okay.
She said she had one maintenance day, but you're supposed to clean them every day. But I'm like, then why?
This doesn't explain why there were live bullets on set. None of that explains
Correct.
that.
And here's the thing. Just because you're getting paid for 8 days as an armorer doesn't mean you can't split up your time.
No.
Right? So
Yeah. I mean, you're supposed to be scrappy on an independent film, right? So, like, you should.
it's what you do. So there was a lawsuit, OSHA versus Rust Productions, and they fined Rust Movie Productions $136,793 for firearm safety failures after it was confirmed that David Halls, an assistant director, the first AD, and safety coordinator handed a large caliber revolver to Alec Baldwin without consulting with on-set weapons specialists prior to or after the gun was loaded. So they're saying that he was the one that
Wait, they were pinning it on David Hall?
that she spun it and he was like, okay. That
But
he was the last form.
Who would he have checked with
Hannah.
other than her? She handed it to him.
Yep.
I don't know. Do you agree with that?
No.
Okay.
I don't. That feels very like. But who would you have asked except the person who already fucked up to cause the problem in the first place?
It sounds like a decision made by someone who doesn't understand the business and how it works.
Yes.
Right. But so in February 2023, OSHA agreed to settle with Rust Productions, who were not required to admit any wrongdoing.
Okay.
Okay.
That was interesting.
Okay.
All right. So now we're going to get into some of the criminal cases.
Yeah.
So in March 2023, the Santa Fe DA assigned a special prosecutor to move the criminal case forward against Dave Hall, Alec Baldwin, and Hannah. So let's get into Hannah's second interview.
At the police station?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I'm moving away any objects that I might play on.
Throw things.
I'm to be enraged.
Yeah.
There were other live rounds found on the set.
For fuck's sake.
I don't understand this.
And it's just so, God damn it. It's so frustrating because she's like surprised. And she's like, where were they found? It's your job to know where they are and to not bring them on set in the first
Was
place.
she like, where were they found? Because I've been looking for
Where
those.
were they? No, cops are like, they were on top of your cart.
Oh, Jesus.
There were 2 on top of the cart.
Not even
There were
put away.
2 in Alec Baldwin's belt, like his costume belt. And in another box of like the dummy rounds, there was one just randomly in it.
So he actually had, is it kind of like where they have like the, I don't know the terminology, like the strap that has all the bullets in it?
Bandolier. Yeah.
Bandolier.
Yes.
So he actually had live rounds
He
in
had
that
live rounds on his body.
Oh my God. But that just also shows you how profuse like the incompetency was, where it's like this wasn't even
everywhere.
Just it was
everywhere.
It has permeated into all these different
all the
places.
areas.
So it's not just like, oh, whoopsie daisy, like when they got into one area, it's like they're in the belt, they're on the cart, they're in the box.
Yep.
Like, it's like, oh my God, like where weren't there live?
Where weren't there live rounds? Like how many where did they not search that there could have been?
Right, exactly.
And also that you brought that many.
Why did she bring?
Why were they there in the front? They shouldn't have been there.
Why did they get put in the area of the dummies? Like she did this, right? Nobody else.
Nobody else would have.
Has there ever been an explanation?
She put the baking soda in the same container as the flour and was then surprised.
And then surprised to find.
Yes,
right.
Yeah. So the cops were like, why were there live rounds?
I would like to know that as well. I would like to know that.
She says, I have no idea. It seems like somehow these were mixed in.
No, I do not accept that answer.
There were 6 live bullets floating around on the set of Rust.
And that
6
is
live bullets.
And that is, ladies and germs, a entire gun's worth of bullets.
Right. You're
a fucking Western. They're firing guns every single day.
So this is what I'm imagining. I'm imagining that she, from her home, grabbed bullets.
Yeah.
Put them in her little pocket.
And like filled the thing.
Came into work and then went like this.
But Frances Fisher, she's quoted as saying, sloppiness. Just pure sloppiness.
Sloppiness.
Yeah.
Unprofessional. And I was like, girl, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Ruth.
Sloppy.
Do it, Bucator. Yes.
Yes, Rose's mom. You were wrong about Cal, but you were right about this.
You were right about these bullets. Exactly. So Hannah goes on to blame cutting cost measures to the live bullets being there.
Wait.
But I say, exactly.
What?
Why?
Bullets
How?
are free?
That doesn't make
We
any
couldn't
fucking
afford
sense.
more dummies, so I brought mine from home in case we needed them.
Why?
It still doesn't make sense.
any
No.
sense.
And-
And I don't care where you put them. It doesn't matter if they're in a gun or on your person. There should not be. I don't want to be walking around with a live, as a brothel owner in a Western that I will someday do. I do not want a live round on my person or in the gun that I am going to brandish at whoever.
They came from her own personal collection, right?
Had
Has that
to
been
have.
established? Has it been established?
She brought them. Because she brought them in because it's her job to bring the
stuff. She brought all the dummies as well. Okay.
But then that also implies, again, even in her own home or in her own personal stash of whatever, she's also too stupid to distinguish between the live rounds and the dummies. This feels like fundamental to the most basic functions of that job.
Right. Like being an actor and not knowing the difference between the curtain being closed and the curtain being open. So the special prosecutor that's brought in says her main job is to make sure there aren't live rounds on set and that they don't get mixed in with the dummy rounds.
You had one job, literally,
and all of those rounds are tested before they're put in up to the gun, and none of that happened.
Okay. Right.
So the prosecutor also said, and this made me mad, that Alec wasn't required to cock the gun or pull the trigger. He denies pulling the trigger and still does to this day. And I was like, yes, he wasn't required, but the DP told him to do it. And that means he was required to do it. As an actor, if the DP or the director says to do something, you are supposed to do it. That is your job.
To him, it would be just as harmless as crumpling up a piece of paper and throwing it on the ground.
Because the gun is cold and it
it's cold.
Matter.
It should be just as harmless as a cotton ball getting flicked into the air.
You know, never point a gun at anyone. Yeah, sure, unless a director of photography is telling you to do it.
And there is a person who's allegedly checked it to be safe.
Right, because they actually do point guns at people in scenes all the time.
All the time. It's a cold gun. It's not an instrument of death. You are trusting someone else to have done their job. There is a wrongful death lawsuit from the Hutchins family.
Yes.
It's out there.
Yes.
Dave Halls talked a lot about checks and balances. So he is very upset and has a lot of regret because he says that, it was his job to make sure that every round Hannah puts in that gun was inert, that people make mistakes. And so 2 people should be checking the gun.
Okay.
Hannah showed him the gun. He opened it. He saw 3 bullets. He didn't check. He said he was negligent in the inspection of that gun.
But he didn't check to make sure they weren't real bullets. That wouldn't even be a needed check, is my point.
And I think he knows that too. But Dave Halls did plead guilty. He took a plea deal admitting to negligent use of a deadly weapon, and he was given 6 months probation. He said that he could have been the last line of defense, and he does believe that. So he has a lot of guilt for that, I do believe. So that's what he did. In January 2023, prosecutors in New Mexico filed involuntary manslaughter charges against Alec Baldwin.
I was so angry when that happened. It was like, how fucking dare you?
I know. So the evidence showed that Hannah had a job, but she didn't check the ammo and loaded a live round into Alec's gun. The prosecutor believes that Hannah brought those live rounds on set. Yeah, because how else did they fucking get there? So there is circumstantial evidence from the cop, and it's very interesting to watch because the cop is on the stand and they're like, do you have evidence? And she was like, well, yeah, circumstantial. She said she identified in the interview when asked what a box of hers would look like. She identified one on her phone, and that one on her phone matched exactly the box that they had that had the live round in it.
The cop was showing what a live .45 caliber looks like.
Yes, the cop showed Hannah, said a box, and she said, "Is this your box?" And Hannah was like, "Yeah, that's my box." So it was like they were the same box.
I'll also say
of rounds.
I just gave this a quick Google here. I'll say markings that indicate if this is live versus real, but it's also one of those you've got to be looking real.
You really have to be looking.
Put on your reading glasses.
Put on your glasses, yeah. And it's there's I can't make it out, and it varies, but there's stuff etched in it that basically says this one is safe, or no, this is a real brand of ammo. But the telltale giveaway, if it is not loaded, if you're just looking at it in your hand, the nose of it is completely different visually.
Why that last round didn't go in the gun.
Right.
So no one can fuck it up.
One is pointed and the other is flat with a like green tip, as in green safety. Like,
oh my God.
Christ.
So then she saw that difference as she was loading the damn
had
thing.
to. Or were you loading and just like chatting
Or
it
just
up
not
and
paying
looking?
fucking attention,
Not paying
at
attention.
all.
But see, and then in
Either
that
way-
case, if David had checked the rounds, he
Sure.
would have seen. So
He
perhaps
would've had
that's
to either
also where he
put on the readers and look closer, or unload
unloaded
gun
it
to
and
look
looked
the
at them,
rounds.
and
Yeah.
maybe that's what he was saying he should have done.
Yeah.
I
Because
think
then
that's
he
what
would
he's
have
saying he should
seen.
have
Then he
done.
would have seen it.
Possible, yeah.
So nobody knows where these rounds came from. Like, did she get them from her dad? Did she get them from a gun store? Who knows?
And she doesn't know because she doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
She says she doesn't know, but the evidence suggests that she brought them to the set. I'm gonna say it says more than suggests.
Why?
Why else would they be there?
But why
No
did
one
she
else would
bring
bring
them?
Now, the prosecutor says, why does it matter where they came from? In this case, it matters
Yeah.
because it is an additional level of negligence and recklessness.
Yep. Because without
Absolutely.
that, you don't have an
None of this
You
incident.
don't have a
would have
problem.
happened.
You
No one
don't
would be
have a
dead.
danger. Unless it was a freak projectile, which is what I thought it was
Which
until
what
today.
Brendan Lee happened, but it wasn't. It was a
But it
live
wasn't.
round, and there's no reason a live round should ever be on set. You are on set with these people. As you both know, when you are doing theater, you trust people implicitly. You might not like them, but you trust them. And it's the same on a film set. And you trust people to do their jobs.
Wow.
And she didn't do her job.
Nope.
So the jury deliberated for less than 3 hours.
Just
Guilty.
like OJ.
Yeah. Guilty of involuntary manslaughter, and she got the
Yeah.
maximum 18 months in prison.
That's
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, that's the max. That's the max for involuntary manslaughter.
Involuntary manslaughter.
I mean, in some cases, I feel like, okay. And in this case, I feel like that should have been more.
I agree. This feels so much
isn't
more
there negligent-
So July 2024 is Alec Baldwin's trial.
Right.
So the prosecutor says it's not his job to ensure there's not a live round in that gun. Correct. It's his job to handle the gun safely when it's in his hand.
Okay,
Yes.
correct.
Yes.
Which he did,
He did.
because he asked every step of the way.
Correct. Because it's also his job to do what the director
He's
of photography
told.
says.
That's right.
And no one stopped him. He
Yeah.
did it every step of the way. That's exactly
Yep.
right. I was like, you
Yeah.
just proved it. Right? So Alec did plead not guilty.
Yeah.
But on the third day of the trial, Alec's attorney accused the prosecution of failing to turn over evidence. An envelope of ammunition from the same batch that killed Helena, and it got the case dismissed with prejudice. So they withheld evidence. There was an
my
envelope of
God.
ammunition that they withheld. He immediately broke down in tears.
I remember that. I remember seeing that on the news.
Immediately. And because it was dismissed with prejudice, it's the
It
same
cannot
as
be.
Yep, he can't be brought back.
Yeah.
It's the same as
It's like
being
double
not
jeopardy.
guilty.
Double
That's
jeopardy.
terrible,
Yeah.
though. Like,
Yeah.
why would you do that? Like, were they think they were going to get him or something? Like, what the hell?
Because it was Alec Baldwin and it was entertainment. I really
So
think that's
gross.
it. Yeah, it's so gross. And I think, again, I think it's one of those things like people don't understand what filming is.
What-
People don't
right.
understand that
Right.
he did everything right.
And for the billionth time, he had every reason to expect that that gun was cold.
Because why the fuck would there be live rounds?
It would be
I mean, other than of course, the sad, like the Brendan Lee, there could be a
Yeah,
projectile
an
in it. So we
accident.
have to be careful.
Yes.
Is a blank,
Yeah.
you know, and there's a loud noise,
Right,
but there
right,
shouldn't
right,
be
right.
anything. So Rust did resume filming. In February 2022, the Hutchins family filed a civil lawsuit against Rust Productions and other responsible parties, including
Alec
Alec
Baldwin.
and Handwan. Yeah,
That's what I was going to ask. I thought I remembered hearing that he was sued by the family.
by the family.
I
So after extended negotiations, the parties reached a confidential settlement.
yeah.
And part of that settlement was that Rust was to be completed. That was
Wait, the
part
family
of-
wanted it completed?
Oh, man.
Oh.
Yes.
Huh.
Oh.
They said Matt is the name of her husband.
Husband,
Matt
right.
Hutchins, and Matt wants it done.
Is it because
He
it was
wanted
her
finished. It was hers.
last project and he
Yes.
wanted it finished?
Yes.
Oof,
And the
God.
cast and crew came back. and
Did Alec Baldwin complete it?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't know how I feel about that.
So Matt said she would have wanted it finished. She would have wanted the world to see her.
Do they still have?
They kept as much of her original footage as
Oh, okay.
okay,
all right.
There is a new director of photography, and her name is Bianca. So they brought another female in.
Nice.
And, she said, you give a piece of yourself to the film. So no one will see Helena's soul if you don't finish this movie.
Wow.
So Matt, her husband, gave Bianca Helena's notebooks for the movie. So all of her notes and everything that she made, and she made such extensive notes. Like, I want this shot this way and this and this. And us artists, we make extensive notes.
It sounds like there was actually a lot of like forgiveness and acceptance maybe at the end. But even the fact that it was settled and then Alec agreed to finish the film.
Yeah.
That must have been very maybe cathartic and healing for everybody.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah.
I hope it wasn't
I
some
hope so,
weird
too.
traumatic experience where
seemed like a couple of the actors were talking on the documentary that I watched, and I wrote down that people that aren't creative might not understand, but revealing truth through art, it's frivolous to some people, but it's not to us. Like, it's just there's something about that. And
the show must go on.
The show must go on. And Joel said, this experience will never be over.
No.
Like, they're never, it's never going to be.
Everyone has scars from this for the rest of their lives. Everyone.
So obviously they had to bring another armorer in to finish the movie. This armorer's name is Andy. Andy the armorer.
Is he
Andy the armorer.
Is he a good armorer?
He's a good armorer. And Andy the armorer said that this never should have happened.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, no shit.
Andy says, that weapons on set are always treated as real weapons. Always. As we know.
See, he has, which
knows.
Hannah did not do. Right.
She didn't do. She's carrying them in her arms and stuff.
Like they were toys. Like they were toys.
And basically, they just wanted to finish the movie to honor Helena. And they preserved, like I said, every shot that they could that was hers. So they screened the movie in Poland. She's Polish.
Oh.
So they screened the movie at a film festival there. I'm going to say it wrong because...
You're not Polish?
Yes. Camera image. But it was basically where so many of her friends gather every year. Aww. So they screened it there on November 20th, 2024. And then it was released theatrically and on video. And so after Helena's death, California became the first state to pass legislation regulating the use of firearms on set.
There's no legislation until now?
Only in California, because there have been no industry-wide changes.
Oh my God.
California.
Come on, fam.
Aside from Alec Baldwin, no other producers of Rust were criminally charged.
Wait, so the ones that got the email complaints that ignored them, they weren't charged?
Just Alec.
Why was he?
Because he was targeted,
he's famous,
because he's a celebrity.
Alec Baldwin. Yep.
And it's a show, and then people are going to click on our news article.
Correct. Clickbait. However, they have been named as defendants in at least 5 civil cases.
Okay, good. Okay, they should have their asses handed to them, not him.
Questions still remain about the origins of the live ammunition.
No, they don't.
No, they don't. We solved it. Spoiler alert.
We solved it.
There are no questions. No questions remain.
None whatsoever.
Here.
I have a couple of updates for you.
Okay.
David Hall's the first AD. According to most reports, he has since retired and is currently kind of maintaining a low profile.
Yeah, he needs a lot of therapy too.
Yes. Joel Souza, the director, says that he can never be around a gun that can fire ever again.
Because he was shot.
He was shot. When they did the reshoots, they were using, it looked like paintball guns to make the sounds.
Probably, yeah.
But he does have an upcoming movie as a director called Red Card, so go see it when it comes out.
Oh, Red! I feel like
Go to
I've
the
heard
movies.
of that. Okay.
He's still doing it.
Still doing his thing.
A New Mexico judge has thrown out a misconduct lawsuit filed by actor Alec Baldwin against local prosecutors and sheriff's officials over their pursuit of criminal charges against him for the fatal 2021 shooting on the set of the Western movie Rust. That happened on July 30th, 2025
Wow.
So he tried to. I think that's fair.
I think I would want it to get it formally thrown out if I was charged with murder at some point incorrectly. I'm just saying.
Throw it out. And they threw it out because there was just no movement on it. Hannah Gutierrez was released on March 23rd, 2025. She just happened, yep.
Hopefully she's working at a drive-thru somewhere.
The parole board of the state of New Mexico granted Gutierrez Reed parole Friday, according to parole certificate provided to CBS News. So that's how I know. CBS News said it. The parole runs through May 23rd, 2026. Her certificate said she's required to follow the conditions set forth by the board, some of which include electric monitoring. So she's got a bracelet.
She's got a bracelet.
Following a curfew and either getting a job or enrolling in school. Gutierrez Reed was paroled to Arizona and is ordered to report there immediately.
Please tell me that her gun license has been suspended.
I fucking hope so. The end.
Yeah.
Wow. What a saga, Jen. And just so difficult, but so excellently presented. So
yeah, that was.
Thank you.
You put that together well. That was a.
Thanks. It's a lot.
It is a lot. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. What have we even learned? I feel like the takeaways on this one are so obvious, but
yeah, right.
Well,
don't bring live rounds on set.
Don't hire incompetent people in life or death roles.
Yeah,
and if your entire team walks out because of life safety concerns, follow them. Don't continue with the problem in place.
Yeah, don't do that.
And actors
sometimes the film does not go on.
Yeah, and actors are just minions. Like, we just do what we're told to do.
But sometimes you should say "and curtain" to a rehearsal, a production, a something. If it's unsafe, safety always comes before everything else.
If you feel it, if you see it, especially if you have some sort of clout, it's okay to say something.
Do something.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have any clout.
At the very least, you'll be able to then live with yourself because you're like, well, I did everything I could.
Good for the crew that walked out. Let me just say, unsung heroes.
Yeah.
Good for them for having the balls to do it. Yeah. Good for you guys. Yeah. Because if everybody had followed that lead, this wouldn't have happened.
You're right. Yeah, absolutely. If they would have hired a union armorer, this wouldn't have happened too.
Mm-hmm. Unions, they matter.
They really do. I got so angry that they blamed Alec Baldwin because I was like, he
totally
didn't
irrational.
Do it.
It's irrational.
It's totally irrational. It's total clickbait.
If you've listened to this podcast and you still don't understand, there's no help for you.
And we still don't know what producers do, but it's okay.
No one will ever know what a producer does because it always changes.
I want to be a producer.
Adding to playlist.
Thank you, Jen.
Thanks.
That's a good one. Good way to end the season.
That was our last one until
the perfect way to
end the season.
And scene.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Wicked Stage Pod.
Follow us on Instagram and check out our Patreon for more exclusive content.
These deliciously wicked episodes drop every other Friday, so make sure you subscribe or follow and don't get left waiting in the wings.